BLOGTALK Radio.
Okay, we're trying to work 3 or 4 things at one time here. Just a second. Just a second. Okay, we are live today. Blog Talk Radio. Blog Talk Radio today. And I forgot to start the chat room. Oh, welcome. We're going to put this on YouTube. Endtime Watchman News Network, Blog Talk Radio. We are live here today. And we shall get started here. Forgot to start the chat room a while ago. I had so much going on. But anyway, today. Let me start out by saying that I've been thinking about surveillance society. I've been thinking about Big Brother and a lot of things during the wee hours of the morning and through this day thus far. And, you know, I got to tell you that we as a society are to blame in part that we have put up with this thus far. We as a society have become complacent, dumbed down, massively entertained with things that never have and never will matter. Never have and never will matter. But let me turn here for a minute and make sure everybody can hear me well. And I'm supposed to be having a caller today. I got to keep my eyes on that. Keep my eyes on y'all on the YouTube and get everything going. But here's the little bitty what I call the speakerphone, the computer that we're using for Blog Talk Radio, and we're doing a great job with what we've got. But anyway, back to the surveillance society. Back to the surveillance society, and let me let the people know what I'm doing here. I've actually got a camera going in here right now. I'm trying to look at the camera. I'm trying to look at the phone. I am trying to look at the call-in numbers and everything else. But in any event, today I want to talk to you about surveillance society and Big Brother, if I may. You know, I would say there's the ability to speak from the grave. I would say the ability to speak from the grave has been brought forth to us. Let me give you a few quotations here, okay? A few quotations. Sadly, not many people are paying attention or realizing the depths of our condition. Take a chance and listen to these comments, and you'll find out that the grave has been speaking. The grave itself has been speaking. Behind the government sits an enthroned, invisible government, owing no allegiance and acknowledging no responsibility to people. To destroy this invisible government or befoul the unholy alliance between corrupt business, corrupt politics is the first task of the statement of the day, Theodore Roosevelt, 1906. Now, that being said, these societies that want to remain secret, whether it be the CIA cocaine plane that crashed, whether it be the television cameras looking at you every move you make, every time you break wind or go to the bat, whatever you're doing. They want to control and know everything that you and I are doing, but at the same time, they wish that we never find out nothing about them. But how wonderful it is that the lid is being lifted off of them, and we are beginning to see things as they are, the few of us that are awake. And of course, they would take all their pleasure in calling us nutcases and conspiracy theorists. But they can call us whatever they want to call us. It will not change our determination of exposing them for what they are, the pure out, unadulterated, unrestrained evil that they are. Now, with that being said, let me go to another quote. Let me go to another quote here. Oh, boy. Are you ready? They who can give up essential liberty to obtain a little temporary safety deserve neither liberty nor safety. Neither one. Old Ben Franklin. Old Ben Franklin. You see. I'm going to quote that again. They who can give up essential liberty to obtain temporary safety, they deserve neither liberty nor safety. See, people have a tendency to not understand just how bad power corrupts people. They don't realize it because the majority of the people today in this place called America, they're satisfied with their credit cards. They're satisfied with their $600, $700, $800 a month truck and car payments. They're satisfied with their $2,000 a month house payments because guess what? They were suckered into, you got to have this, you got to have the best, you got to want the best, and they become nothing but tools and pawns of marketing, big corporations and big government. And therefore the big government and big corporations together, they do what the people behind the scenes tell them to do, and that is a strategic marketing of you and of I, that we will remain slaves and pawns to their destructive system, because if we don't buy their stuff, at least we can say that they're not getting our money to bring about the destruction. See, but most folks don't realize that, and they had rather finance. They had rather finance their own destruction. No, I am trying to look at the video camera, and I'm also trying to look at this screen to make sure my voice is right and everything else. So let me turn from the camera, and you'll see the back of my head for a few minutes. Thank you very much for seeing my face for a few minutes. Now, I've got to turn my attention to the screen. No, I've got to turn my attention to the screen, so here we go. But the majority of people don't want to realize and wake up and see and understand that it's all about them controlling and Big Brother looking at everything we say and do, at them looking at our emails, at them looking at everything you look at on the internet, and then that way they can create what they want on you and they can market things towards you, you see. But let me tell this to you right now, and I'll have to move the speaker over here where it can be heard by the people. Let me play this for you and remind you of something. Just a minute, and let it load.
The very word secrecy is repugnant in a free and open society. And we are, as a people, inherently and historically opposed to secret societies, to secret oaths, and to secret proceedings. We decided long ago that the dangers of excessive and unwarranted concealment of pertinent facts far outweighed the dangers which are cited to justify it. Even today, there is little value in opposing the threat of a closed society by imitating its arbitrary restrictions. Even today, there is little value in ensuring the survival of our nation if our traditions do not survive with it. And there is very grave danger that an announced need for increased security will be seized upon by those anxious to expand its meaning to the very limits of official censorship and concealment. That I do not intend to permit to the extent that it's in my control.
But he lost his control because they killed him.
Whether his rank is high or low, civilian or military, should interpret my words here tonight as an excuse to censor the news, to stifle dissent, to cover up our mistakes, or to withhold from the press and the public the facts they deserve to know. For we are opposed around the world by a monolithic and ruthless conspiracy that relies primarily on covert means for expanding its sphere of influence.
Now, they killed him. 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 It was not. Lee Harvey Oswald, one guy. And that's amazing. That's another amazing thing about Big Brother, although it's devilishly amazing. Just like Timothy McVeigh. They got rid of him in a flipping hurry. Oswald, remember what happened to him? Listen, people, but there's people sitting on death row that's been on death row for 30 years. But those they got to get rid of in a hurry, they go ahead and get rid of them because guess what? As they watch people, and whether it be a president or whoever, as the big boys watch them and they step out of bounds and they don't play hardball with them, they just simply take the bat to them and they beat the life out of them right in front of the American people that are most of them now. I'm not talking to y'all. Y'all know and y'all are awake, I hope. But when they won't play hardball with them, they just simply take the ball bat and beat them to death right in front of the American people. And the American people are, yeah, this is great, let's go. That's how stupid the American people are. Anyway. I'm going to move on for the sake of time and let Mr. Kennedy from the grave continue to speak.
On infiltration instead of invasion, on subversion instead of elections, on intimidation instead of free choice, on guerrillas by night instead of armies by day. It is a system which has conscripted vast human and material resources into the building of a tightly knit, highly efficient machine that combines military, diplomatic, intelligence, economic, scientific, and political operations. Its preparations are concealed, not published. Its mistakes are buried, not headlined.
Now, let me tell you something. Let me be real clear. He was trying to warn us. He was trying to tell us and our forefathers to pass it on to us, okay? He was saying back then that one of these days they're going to have their boot on your throat. One of these days they're going to have control of your finances, which they already did way back in 1913 Federal Reserve. I'm just saying that they would implement it to a major degree, and so they took him out, okay? Now, let's move for the sake of time, please. Let's move for the sake of time. Back just a little bit here. Keep going, keep going, keep going. Okay, power really does corrupt. Mail Online. As scientists claim, it is as addictive as cocaine is. Now, listen to this article. More than 100 years after noted historian Baron John Acton coined the phrase, power tends to corrupt, absolute power corrupts absolutely, scientists claim the saying is biologically true. The feeling of power has been found to have similar effect on the brain as to cocaine by increasing the levels of testosterone and its byproduct in both women and men. How about that? Now, this, in turn, leads to raised levels of dopamine, the brain's reward system called the nucleus accumbens, which can be very addictive. Cocaine works in a similar way, which can have varied effects from increased alertness, confidence, energy, feelings of well-being, euphoria, but also anxiety, paranoia, and restlessness. Power has almost the identical effects to cocaine, and too much of it can produce too much dopamine, leading to more negative effects such as arrogance and impatience. You see what I'm getting at? They are addicted to murder, to theft, to destruction, to rape, to pillage, to the very destruction of our society. This secret society is bent on the very destruction of you and I because we are no more than useless eaters to them, although they are the bottom feeders. And worse than that, but I'm trying to refrain my tongue from speaking something that would otherwise make me seem not to be the evangelist that I'm called to be, although I ain't perfect and I get mad. But I digress. Now let's move on just a little bit further. Got a pretty cool